There's always a beautiful day for us to get together. My name's Michael, one of your recovery coaches.
Top of the morning, I'm Craig, also one of your recovery coaches.
Good morning, I'm Karen, also recovery coach.
All right, so today, as always, we're going to go over a particular topic. Today's handout comes from helpguide.org. It's called Overcoming Drug Addiction. We will discuss different topics from this handout. And if you would like this particular handout, you can leave a message in the comment section, and I will give you the link in your inbox to it. And I will also put it on our YouTube page in the description. It's called Overcoming Drug Addiction, and it's from helpguide.org. Today we're going to talk about a few different topics. One of them is tips for finding the best drug addiction treatment for you. Find support for your addiction recovery, and learn healthy ways to cope with stress. Learn healthy ways to cope with stress. Any more announcements out there?
Just a reminder that tomorrow, Ro will be out in
Rosenham.
In 761 Landis Ave in Bridgeton, from 10 to 2.
All right.
10 to 2?
Yep.
10 to 2. Oh, man. Bro is what we call recovery on wheels. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, so without further ado, who would like to start off with reading? I can do the honors. All right. Welcome. Once again, my name is Craig, and I'll be reading Tips for Finding the Best Drug Addiction Treatment for You. All right, and it reads, remember that no treatment works for everyone. Everyone's needs are different. Whether you have a problem with illegal or prescription drugs, addiction treatment should be customized to your unique situation. It is important that you find a program that feels right. Once again, everyone's experience is different. Some are self-medicated and some are prescribed medication. Everyone are in a unique position.
It's very important that you find, talking about tips for the best drug treatment for you. Find the program that feels right. Sometimes you might go to a program and it's just not the program that fits for you or for what the services you need. It does not make that program a bad program. However, if you want to be comfortable, if you will, in the sense of receiving the treatment that you need, you have to find the program that feels right to you. This is something that you must determine when you get to these particular places. Don't try to jump program to program to find out, which program fits right, because some of it won't be custom made for you like you at home. Please don't believe that.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm in recovery, and one of the programs that was best suited that I thought, and I believe to this day, was a TC Therapeutic Community Program, which it taught me a very valuable lesson in how to deal with a lot of coping skills, a lot of situations that I wasn't previously able to do on my own. So, as Mike was saying, whatever fits for you, utilize it.
Also, it says treatment should address more than just your abuse. Treatment should address more than just your drug abuse. Addiction affects your whole life, including your relationships, your career, your health, psychological well-being. Treatment success depends on developing a new way of living and addressing the reasons why you turned to drugs in the first place. Pause, pull over, pause, and stop right there. I always tell people that the substance that we use always is associated to some type of cause. You might start out in a young age, they say between 16 and 21, if I'm correct. They call that the risk-taking years, or you'll be experimenting with things. But if you go all the way back, I like to tell people to get down to the core of why you actually using whatever substance you're using. It's not just about removing the drug from you, but however, you should get down to the core. What was going on before you even tried to experiment with it?
Mm-hmm. And if I may add, I read an article on Facebook, Mike and Karen, and this young lady, she wrote an article and she was talking about the drug addiction, and one of the root causes of why, or some of the root causes of why people use drugs is because of either past trauma, whether it be from household trauma, witnessing, or personal experiences such as abuse or whatever it may be. But those are some of the things that people should evaluate, because in order to get to the fruit, you must get to the root. All right? I just wanted to add that.
So we got a question on Facebook. Oh yeah, we do. This is what we do. We're very good at what we do, and that's just a blessing from our God of our understanding. However, when we're doing our particular teaching, if you have any questions, you can ask us on Facebook, and we will discuss your question on Facebook and answer it only according to the knowledge that we have at this particular time. If it's a question that we will have to research, we will get back to you. Well, the question is this, guys. Is this virus natural or weaponized? Meaning, is it something that comes natural, or is it something that is sent to attack somebody? And I'll basically answer that. This is something that everybody has a decision. Why do I say I believe it's a decision? My mother was an alcoholic, my father was a drug addict, but I was the only one that made the decision to do what they did. My other siblings choose the decision not to do it. So I personally believe that you have the opportunity to choose to either indulge it or not. But you will have some things that you have to get down to the core and discuss and find out what made me think that I can do it and what made them think they're not going to do it. I can only speak for me. And I'm not saying that this is 100% correct across the board. Mm-hmm. My belief or reasons for doing it was I believe if my mother who had me can do it and my father can do it, then surely I can do it. Mm-hmm. That was my personal belief. So I don't think it's a virus. I don't think it's something that was sent to attack a person. I think the person made the decision.
That's a great analogy, because I believe last week we was talking about those of us who are dealing with addiction or who chose that lifestyle to use, as opposed to someone who was exposed to it but did not participate in it. And that would be Karen. She's not a person in recovery. I am a person in recovery. Mike has spoke to his experience as well. But Karen chose
the opposite.
The opposite.
It was there, but she chose, nope, I'll do this.
Yeah.
So you got to think, if everybody is faced with the same situations, why everybody not making the same decisions? And we're going to talk about some of that later. And it's talking about learn healthy ways to cope with stress.
Good
Stuff.
Good stuff.
Where we at?
Commitment and follow through are key. All right, and it says, drug addiction treatment is not a quick and easy process. In general, the longer and more intense the drug use, the longer and more intense the treatment you'll need. And in all cases, long-term follow-up care is crucial to recovery.
Wow. Commitment and follow through are key. Commitment and follow through are key. The longer, the more intense the drug use, the longer, the more intense the treatment you'll need. And that's very important, because I have no idea why you can have multiple years of using a substance and then you go to a 4 or 5 day detox and you say, oh, I'm good.
I got it.
I recommend, you go to some more treatment and follow through after the treatment. But for some reason, I believe we be having this in our minds that I can actually go and attempt to get 4 or 5 days detox, and all those years are wiped out, and that's actually not true.
Yeah, and let me elaborate on that, because as I stated earlier, I went through a TC program, Therapeutic Community, and I went through almost a year and a half of Therapeutic Community peer support treatment. And so I was blessed to do this inside the Department of Correction. And so when I went through assessment center, I got transferred from the TC community, I went to assessment center. And they told me, say, you know what? You got some more treatment coming along. I thought I was good because they gave me a certification, and I said, oh, well, I'm a graduate now. I know it all. However, to my surprise, when I got from the assessment center, I went to Kentucky. And they gave me some more treatment, which they call continuum care. And so, I thought that I was already, but there's more on top of that, because as we stated earlier, there are some life issues that we need to address as well, along with addiction, so.
Yeah. It's not just the substance. You got life issues, you got core beliefs and everything, why you process the things you do. Yeah. These are questions that you have to ask yourself, and I always like to say it's not just a person struggling with addiction. These are life questions. Yeah. Why I make these decisions, why didn't I make these decisions? Those are things that if you put them down and put them in a book, you can sell it, trust me.
Talking from experience, huh?
Yeah, all my books I wrote from personal experience.
All right. Karen, would you like to read?
Yeah. There are many places to turn for help. Not everybody requires medically supervised detox or an extended stint in rehab. The care you need depends on a variety of factors, including your age, drug use history, medical or psychiatric conditions. In addition to doctors and psychologists, many clergy members, social workers, and counselors offer addiction treatment services.
Mm-hmm. And so, with that stated, a lot of us who've used substance abuse, whether alcohol or drugs, we also unbeknown to us, that people are suffering from mental illness. And so, a lot of time when people are suffering with mental illness, they do what they call masking. They start using drugs to cover up the other aspects. So they call that dual diagnosis. So I have the pleasure of learning these terms and what they mean. So a lot of times, some people don't realize that they are suffering, so therefore they have to see a psychologist, or further counseling, or from a clergy member that can get down to, as Mike was saying, the core belief or what their mental state or physical state is at a given time.
Don't neglect your spiritual foundation. Like it says here, in addition to doctors and psychiatrists, many clergy members, social workers, and counselors offer addiction treatment services. And even at my particular church, we have a clergy service that's called Living Victorious. And that's called the Living Victorious. It talks about or deals with strongholds. It's just another name for substance abuse or an addiction. And no matter what lingo you use, find the best place to get the services that you need. If this person uses his sponsor recovery coach strategy or pathway, and this person uses his spiritual clergy pathway, this person uses his psychiatrist, I don't care, actually. It doesn't make me any difference what you use, as long as you get to the finish line, and the finish line is always not using any substance. Where we at? Seek treatment for, we read that? No. Seek treatment for any mental health problems simultaneously. As you seek help for drug addiction, it's also important to get treatment for any medical or psychological issues you're experiencing. Your best chance of recovery is by getting combined mental health and addiction treatment from the same treatment provider or team. I believe that's so vital because a lot of people, when we hear anything dealing with mental, we automatically, I ain't crazy. We I don't know why when we hear mental, we think
stigmas.
We think crazy.
Yeah.
It's not a bad term when you hear mental health. It's just that if you have some underlying mental health issues associated with your substance use disorder, if you can find a treatment provider that deals with both of them, it's best to try to deal with both of them. It is possible to go to one place for one thing, go to the next place for the other. However, we're saying if you're seeking any type of treatment, is seek out treatments that can deal with both of those issues. That's all.
Medication maintenance. It's very important, as Mike was saying, to always stay on your meds. You know, that's very important because a lot of times when people get off their meds, they begin to behave other than what they are. And so I encourage you, we try to break down a lot of barriers and stigmas around here that it's okay, you know, to be on some type of medication as long as it's helping you and getting you back healthy. And so that's very important.
Yeah, I was just explaining because a lot of times people have a different perspective about MATs, which is medication assisted treatment, and I was just explaining to them that I had to use something when I was getting off of heroin to help me because I could not stop heroin. And no matter how much spiritual knowledge I had about my God and my understanding, no matter how many Bible verses I knew, I could not stop using the heroin. So my wife helped me get on what is called Suboxone. And I used the Suboxone, and then eventually I got off the Suboxone. But by the time I got off the Suboxone, I never used the heroin. So I'm not against people using medical assisted treatment. How you know I'm not against it? I used it myself.
And it worked?
And it worked. And but people have these ideas that sometimes, no, I'm not for this and I'm not for that. Remember, whatever's best for you, you have to use. And like we just read, your best chance of recovery is getting combined mental health and addiction treatment from the same treatment provider or team. You gotta remember, what is your best chance for recovery? What is the best chance for you to succeed, for you to make it? You have to tailor make that plan according to you. And that's why we are recovery coaches. And we try to help you do the RMP, which stands for Recovery Management Plan. We help you develop a plan here at Capital Recovery Center, and we execute, or you have to execute the plan that we created with you. So remember, it's always about what you need.
It's not our plan.
It's your plan.
It's their plan.
Let's move.
Let's read some more. Karen, if you like.
It says, find support for your addiction recovery. Don't try to go it alone. Reach out for support. Whatever treatment approach you choose, having positive influences and a solid support system is essential. The more people you can turn to for encouragement, guidance, and a listening ear, the better your chances for recovery.
The more people, she said, that you turn to for encouragement, guidance, and a listening ear. All these things may not be the same person. So you might have to get someone who you have that will encourage you. My wife is one of my greatest motivators. When I feel like I can't do something and no one sees it, my wife will come in my office or see me sitting there and say, you can do this and you can do that. And that encouragement is enough. You can also need someone who help give you guidance. You need someone who can help guide you. I think I'm not against a person who have not been down the path that I have went down. I can take advice from them, my own personal thing. I don't know why I'm like that, but if I see you have went down a similar path, I know you'll be able to guide me. How do I know? You went down the exact same path that I went down. And go ahead, Craig.
No, I'm going to cut you off. But I just want to add for those who are coming home or reentry guys that maybe being released or those who, are struggling in society, it's very important that you have a support network in place. And so here at Capital Recovery Center, we may not be your family biological, but we are part of your support network. And so if there's someone who's struggling and that needs some encouragement or assistance, and like for me, when I came home, I had a support. I didn't have a whole lot of family members, but I had family member. And then I met my wife, who is a nurse, and she was very supportive. She didn't look down on me as long as I was, and I learned this when I was in college. As long as you're trying to do what's right, people are more than willing to help you along the way.
That's true.
And so I thank you, baby. Ain't that for me? All right, shout out.
Lean on close friends and family. Having the support of friends and family members is an invaluable asset in recovery. If you're reluctant to turn to your loved ones because you've let them down before, consider going to relationship counseling or family therapy.
You mean let somebody down?
And I when I came home, I was wondering, I know I was prepared and I was ready, but I know my family probably had hesitant or skepticism whether or not I'm going to be the same person that I were before I came
That's
home.
true.
And so I said, you know what? I'm going to have to prove not only myself, but I have to prove to them that I am no longer, or I'm working towards something better. And you know what? Through the grace of God, it all worked out. And, I was embraced, and if I can do it,
You can do it.
you can do it.
But it's important though, like she said, it says if you are reluctant to turn to your loved ones because you've let them down. People have, when I was actively using, people had made their decisions based off of what I was doing. And it was because they had what I call vital points, or vital reasons. It wasn't people didn't have beliefs about me because they just felt that way. They were basing it off of the life that I was living. And you're going to have people that you have let down, but you have to understand those people have some vital reasons to feel how they feel. You're just going to have to understand and come to grips with, they don't feel that way for no reason. They feel that way because of something that I possibly have done. But that's okay. Don't get stuck there. Some people I'm 12, almost 13 years removed from the life I used to live. And some people are just coming around to forgiving me for some of the stuff that I did those years when I was out there. And it's possible that some people will never forgive you. But don't let them determine your success in recovery.
It says, build a sober social network. If your previous social life revolved around drugs, you may need to make some new connections. It's important to have sober friends who will support your recovery. Try taking a class, joining a church or a civic group, volunteering or attending events in your community.
Yeah, that's a good. What I was liking when we did was in September when we was having all those recovery walks. Man, I really enjoyed that. We was having some. Stay tuned. We're going to be having a whole lot of things soon when the weather gets better, and you can come join us. You know what I mean? Be a part, volunteer. You could attend. There are community events.
That's right. That's right. And what's some of the things that we had during the summer? We had banana boats.
The banana. We had free ice cream, Mr. Salty. At every event, we had a Mr. Salty. You could come get free ice cream. Yeah. Man, he messed me up with that. Right. I got stuff. I got a shirt I ain't clean yet from my banana boat. It won't come out.
Then we had the piece of cone truck.
Piece of cone truck.
Oh,
community events. These are things that help you build your social network. Find different community events that help you build your social network. You can take a class, you can join a church, you can volunteer and attend events in your community. Yeah. It's important that you build your social network because if you try to stay sober or live a recovery lifestyle and still hang with the individuals who are still actively using, your success is going to be very, very low.
Slim to none. All right,
We moving. Let's go.
All right.
Consider moving into a sober living home. Sober living homes provide a safe, supportive place to live while you're recovering from drug addiction. They are a good option if you don't have a stable home or a drug-free living environment.
Do we offer that service?
Well,
Yes, we do.
absolutely. We offer sober living. We have 2 places that we currently deal with mainly.
Yeah.
There's one is, can we give them a shout out?
Yeah.
Diane's house, Schuber house, and we do some of the Oxford houses that in our community as well. So
Call us.
call us if you need some help. Call the number.
1-800-236-2448 and 856-391-7449. I'm thinking it's on. I'm so spoiled because I thought it was on the screen. But anyway,
I saw you look over there.
I was like, hey, so if you need any help with sober living or medical assisted treatment funded and everything, we have those options available. You just call us and we go through the process of giving you the information that we need to submit the information to the department heads to process it. Again, sober living is a great place to start because you want to think about building your social network and consider moving into a sober living. Why is that important? Because it helps you reestablish or build a foundation. It helps with you reestablishing your life and building a foundation, and also prayerfully, because you have all the people in that particular house striving for the same thing. Now, don't get discouraged because I have some mentees and some people that I talk to. They say, well, this house got somebody in there. They got drugs on them or they got this. And I said, well, you got how many people was it? And they said 1. I said, well, you know how many people outside that house got drugs? So listen, so don't think that because a person might have something in the house, you can't succeed. You just have to go through the proper channels of talking to the person who runs the house. And I would, if I was you, inform them that they have this if you're really, truly dedicated to your sobriety.
Yep.
Let's go.
Make meetings a priority. Join in 12-step recovery support groups such as Narcotics Anonymous, NA, and attend meetings regularly. Spending time with people who understand exactly what you're going through can be very healing. You can also benefit from the shared experiences of the group members and learn what others have done to stay sober.
That's perfect. We had a term, and they said, in order to keep your sobriety, you must give it away. And that means being in a group setting by sharing your stories or sharing information. We call it it's keeping it green. And we also encourage people, when people are sharing their information, don't poke holes in their story. And what that means is, don't think they up there telling war stories, because a lot of times these information or stories that people are revealing are really true. And so if there can be a benefit to somebody, so let someone to share it so that you don't discourage someone in the group not to share.
Eat the meat, throw away the bones.
Talk that talk.
Make meetings a priority. Let me plug in our meetings right now. Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we do online meeting, Coffee and Recovery. And we also do Thursday at 1 p.m. all recovery meeting. If you would like to attend these meetings, please, you can always watch us on here, watch the videos later on YouTube, or you can just ask for the link in the comment section and I'll give you the link and you can join in the back end of this recording. Meetings are very, have to be made a priority. You can't nonchalantly go about, did you do a meeting or something today? Did you do any devotions today? And you say, nah, I ain't do nothing. It have to become a priority. Remember, it's about a lifestyle change. Your whole life has to change. Let's go. What time?
10:30.
Oh, shoot. We can
We can go through the last one.
Yeah, let's do that. I like this.
Learning healthy ways to cope with stress. After addressing your immediate problems with addiction and starting treatment, you'll still have to face the problems that led to your drug abuse. Did you start using to numb painful emotions, calm yourself after an argument, unwind after a bad day, or forget about your problems?
Hold on. She said, did you start using to numb painful emotions, calm yourself after an argument, unwind after a bad day, or forget about your problem? Remember what I was talking about? It was a reason why you did it. Like, you get down to the core because everybody has something attached to a reason why I did it. You just don't do it. You might say you just did it, but actually it's attached to something.
Developing social skills. And that's what this is all about. When you come up against obstacles in life, which we all do, you know, whether you're sober or intoxicated, we are faced with life issues. And so I remember I was up in Talbot Hall, up in Kearney, New Jersey, and the lady counsel told me, she said, you know what, you're going to have to learn how to, the term she used, eat. That means, in other words, she was telling me, you're going to have to learn how to deal with conflict and confrontation. And you have to be able to manage those things without reverting back to old behaviors. And so that's what we're trying to advise people, that, hey, when you're faced with a situation and it's too overwhelming, talk to someone.
Talk.
Come talk to the recovery coach.
Come
Mike,
on.
Karen, Craig. We
gotta
here
say
for you.
something, yeah.
Once you're sober, the negative feelings that you dampened with drugs will resurface. For treatment to be successful, you'll first need to resolve your underlying issues. Once you have resolved your underlying issues, you will, at times, continue to experience stress, loneliness, frustration, anger, shame, anxiety, and hopelessness. These emotions are all a normal part of life. Finding ways to address these feelings as they arise is an essential component to your treatment and recovery.
Yes, so once you have resolved your underlying issues, the core belief, the core issue, you will at times continue to experience some things. So don't think that once you address your underlying issues, the feelings, you're just going to go poof.
I have arrived.
No, you still going to experience some stressful days, lonely days, frustration, days where you get angry, days where you feel ashamed. You're going to feel hopeless. You're going to have anxiety. I tell people all the time, have you experienced any of those things? They said, yeah. I said, well, at least you know you're alive. Because how do you know you're feeling? You got to make it fun. You got to understand these are normal feelings that you will experience once you resolve your underlying issue, why you use the substance. These are normal things that people feel in their life who have never, ever touched the substance.
Right, and you have to be able to identify these emotions. You know, question yourself, ask yourself, how am I feeling? You know, how does that situation make me feel? And how can I deal with it in a different way? So, different perspective and your worldview of how you should handle things is very unique, and you're able to do it. You just have to tap into your mindset of identifying different emotions.
Yes, just learning healthy ways to cope with stress. We all face stress. You just need to learn healthier ways to cope with it.
There are healthier ways to keep your stress level in check. You can learn to manage your problems without falling back on your addiction. When you're confident in your ability to quickly de-stress, facing strong feelings isn't as intimidating or overwhelming.
When you're confident in your ability to quickly de-stress. When I am stressed, one of the strategies I use is going to my gym. If I'm going through something and I'm stressful, instead of going back to my addiction, I go to the gym and work out. As soon as I do the first set, I might don't want to keep going. But as I keep working out, I'm starting to de-stress my own self. So you have to find different things, healthier ways, that will help you deal with or cope with the stress that you are facing with. And once you learn different or healthier ways start implementing them or getting in the practice of using them whenever the stress arises. Resort to those things over and over and over again.
All right, that sounds good.
That's good stuff.
All right.
So again, remember, if you any services that you need for Capital Recovery Center, you can call us 856-391-7449. We aren't currently open, but we are doing appointments only. And also, we can have meetings on Tuesdays 10 o'clock, Thursday 1 p.m. Any other services that you might need, you can just give us a call. Again, my name is Michael. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center.
And I'm Craig. Just give us a ring-a-ling. All right.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Good stuff, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Tune in to Thursday, 1 p.m.
All right. Okay, Mike.